Welcome to Take a Break, Take a Breath for Wednesday, January 13th. I'm Rick Boyer, the pastor of Prospect Presbyterian Church, and Take a Break, Take a Breath is an invitation for you to pause in the middle of all of your activities and to sit quietly for a few minutes to center yourself in God who made you and loves you and calls you by name. A time to rediscover the foundation of our lives. I've been reading through the Psalms with you, and each day we take a different Psalm. Today is Psalm 123, and Psalm 123 is another one of the songs of ascent, and this one is the one where they have now arrived, and they are in the place where God's footstool is, where God lives for them. And the psalm starts out in the singular and then moves to the plural, kind of representing that pilgrimage idea of one person heading out on a pilgrimage, and as that person goes, other people are gathered. And when we arrive in the city of God, the pilgrim's first task is to lift their eyes to God, to focus on God's presence, and to be surrounded by God's mercy. The psalm is the first psalm that is a full prayer, they say, among the songs of ascent. And it's also unique in a way in that it uses a feminine metaphor for God, a mistress. And that is not totally unfounded, but it's a little unusual. So it's worth noting that, and helpful to us to remember God is not he. God is sometimes he, and God is sometimes she. And God transcends gender. So the verse I want to focus on is not that one, after saying all of that, but on this idea that we are surrounded by God's mercy. And it uses the word mercy twice as a reminder of that. Have mercy upon us, O Lord, have mercy upon us, for we have had more than enough of contempt. It is a psalm that is sung in response to to all of the things that have happened in the exile as they make their way home. They've had it with all of the troubles, and they're ready for God's mercy. So I invite you to go to a place that is quiet in your house and close the door if that's possible, and settle into a chair and get comfortable. Feel the support of that chair on your back and under your arms if it has arms, and on the back of your legs, and feel the floor supporting your feet. Close your eyes and take a nice deep breath. And as you do so, breathe in the breath of God. And keep breathing deeply in and out. And as you breathe out all that separates you from God. Breathe in the breath of life. And breathe out all that separates you from life. Breathe in God's peace and presence. Breathe out all of your worries and fears and anxieties. And as you continue to breathe deeply, let the peace of God spread in your life. Imagine it like immersing yourself in a warm bath. Feel it as you step with your toes and your feet into that warm water, and it brings peace and relaxation to you. And then as you slide down into the tub with your legs and your thighs and your hips, the relaxation comes to the muscles in that part of your body. And then as you slide further down and your torso is in that warm water that represents the peace and presence of God, Allow the muscles in your back to relax as you feel the warmth of God's presence and the peace of God. And allow that peace to come to your stomach and to calm any unrest in your stomach. And as the water washes up over your chest, imagine that your breathing is deep and calm, and that your heart rate is a restful heart rate. And then as you slip down, letting your shoulders go under the water and your arms float freely in the water and your hands open freely in the water. Let the relaxation come to your shoulders and your hands and your arms. Imagine it as it comes up around your neck and you're in up to your chin. And all the muscles in your neck that have been tied in knots are released and untied. And the tensions are gone. You take some of the water and you splash it on your face or wipe it on your face, and as you do so, it brings peace and relaxation to your face. And you take some and you pour it over your head. And your mind comes to a calm and peaceful state. And then in your mind's eye, go to a place that represents God's presence for you. Perhaps it's a favorite sanctuary, or perhaps it's a spot in a park, or maybe it's just sitting in the sun. As you sit there, you are calm and relaxed. You're thinking about all of the things that have been happening in your life and in the country and around the world. As you lift them up to God, you hear yourself saying, "Have mercy upon us, O Lord. Have mercy upon us." And then you feel the presence of God come to you. And in the quiet of the next few moments, you're able to lift up before God, to talk to God about all of the things that have been on your mind, and listen for what God would say to you. I'll be quiet now. And then the time comes for the two of you to part, and so you end this time in whatever way seems right. And you allow that image to fade away, and you bring yourself back to the room where you are. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Well, let's take a break, take a breath for Wednesday, January 13th. If you have feedback for me or you want to talk or pray, send an email to rick@prospectchurch.org.